Hello and welcome to A Cat in the Garden. I honestly cannot believe that August is almost over. I feel like just yesterday summer was beginning, and I know it's supposed to be kind of fall for almost everybody, but it still feels like summer out here in Texas, though the weather did drop recently, so we are out of triple digits. We are down into the 90s, which I know doesn't sound like a lot to most people, but we can feel it here. We can feel the difference. All of my plants outside are gonna be so happy about it. But today is all about houseplants. So these are gonna be my 5 favorite houseplants for the month of August, 5 plants that really just shine to me. And a lot of them are plants I have not really shown off too much before, so I'm really excited to share them with you and maybe talk about my care for them a little bit. So I'm gonna put Nutmeg off to the side, maybe with his sister over here who is sleeping. She is absolutely fast asleep because that's what cats do. They just sleep all day. They live such hard lives that they just sleep. So we're gonna put him off to the side so he can hang out, and we're gonna look at the first houseplant. And the first one is going to be an anthurium. Let me get rid of the tag here. This is my Anthurium warocqueanum, and I absolutely love this plant. I grew it from a little baby seedling, so the leaves were even tinier than the smallest leaves on this plant, and this newest leaf is just starting to show bits of maturity that I've not seen from it before. I had a second one, but unfortunately when I was in and out of the hospital earlier this summer, it died, and this one really wasn't that happy with me either, hence some little bits of crispy leaves. It did lose a few leaves, but ever since I up-potted it, I've been really taking care of it more, and it decided to grace me with this beautiful leaf. I know that these leaves can get super long, super beautiful, really gorgeous, and that is why I truly love this plant. And aside from what happened when I honestly had to neglect it just for my own health reasons, it's been such an easy anthurium. I know a lot of people say that these plants give them trouble, but for me, that's just never been the case with the Queen Anthurium, warocqueanum, whatever you want to call it. It's been so easygoing. I don't really mess with it too much. I don't take it out of the soccer greenhouse too much, and I just let it be. I let it do its thing. I've repotted it once since I've had it, and it's just been a real joy to have. It's even starting to give me some new roots in the cup. I did repot it recently, so that's why it's kind of just starting to fill in. I think in a few months' time, it'll really fill out the cup. Not be quite root bound, but the roots will kind of find their snug homes, and hopefully we'll get a few more leaves out of this one. It's not the slowest growing anthurium either, which really surprises me, but it's just a great plant all around, and I really love looking at it. I don't really care that all the leaves face the same way because it's literally right in front of my window, so what am I gonna do about that? Plus, it's with the really long leaves, you kind of want to have that directionality, so I don't really mind. I think it's a gorgeous plant. I hope you agree, and this is why it's one of my 5 favorite plants this month. The next plant on my list of 5 favorite plants for the month of August is a carnivorous plant. And this is one that I got from my friend Carson. It is just starting to catch fungus gnats, so that is why, oh, it's dripping. That's why it's got some little buggies on there, but I don't care. I still think it's cute. And this is a ping. This one is a cross. I'll kind of put that up there before I butcher the pronunciation, but it's a Moranensis crossed with Agnata. I don't really know what that means. I only have 2 carnivorous plants right now, though I want more because they've been really easy to care for. I don't really do much. For both of them, I have a little saucer as a water reservoir because I was told when I got them that you really want to make sure they don't dry out. You want to give them a water reservoir at all times, basically. And these are the only 2 plants that I do use filtered water for because they can be sensitive if you are using tap water. Every other plant in my collection gets tap water because I'm just like, you can handle it. But apparently these can't. So I do the filtered water. Whenever it kind of runs out in the saucer, I'll fill it back up again, usually halfway up the saucer for both of them. And I don't fertilize them. I don't do anything else. I give them really bright light. They are pretty close to the grow lights in my Millsbo tall, and they just do the rest. They get rid of the fungus gnats for me. I've seen them catch a couple other things, but mostly gnats, and they just love life. These also you can propagate through the leaves. When I got this plant in the mail, a couple leaves fell off, and I don't know if you can see in there, there's some little baby pings that grew from little leaves that fell off. So maybe I'll have like a really nice bushy full ping in a few months when this grows out some more. They ship really well too. The only thing is that you really don't want to disturb them because the roots, I've discovered, are really shallow. And if you do disturb them, you're gonna knock the whole plant off, and then you gotta put it back, you gotta cover them up with some dirt, and that's a whole hassle. So just try not to disturb them if you have them, and they'll just be pretty happy otherwise. And I think pings are super cute. I really can't wait till this one flowers, but that's why it's one of my 5 favorites this month. The next plant on my list is a Hoya, because I don't think I can do a list like this without Hoya. I love Hoya so much. But anyway, the next one is this cutie right here. I have it on a little pole, and I'm gonna have to have this for the name. So let me show y'all the tag on this one also. This is Hoya species Bintulo Borneo IML 1646. So that's a name. That is a long name. But I personally love a Hoya like this. It has all of the qualities that I am looking for when I want a Hoya. First of all, it's splashy. It's really cute. It grows easily. It's got these like abs with the veining, very subtle abs. I really enjoy that. I actually prefer that to the dark veining of like a Calliciphylla or Gadungading. This more subtle, it's not in your face. And that's what I really like about it. And I love the leaf shape too. I love how the splash can kind of sun stress a little bit, though it's not really picking up on camera. Just trust me, I guess. And there is even some splash on the back sides of the leaves. It has grown, so it came to me from my friend as a 2-leaf cutting that she had started rooting. It is pretty well rooted at this point, and it did start growing a vine, and it grew 2 little leaves for me. The vine is still actively growing, but I did not put the whole vine up on this temporary pole that I gave it, because I learned something recently that I want to share. So when you are kind of securing your Hoyas to a trellis or a pole, you want to leave, if they have a runner, you want to leave at least 2 nodes kind of freely growing before you secure it. So when I did secure it here, there were only 2 nodes coming off. If you say I wrap this around and I just secured it right here at the top where there's only 1 node, it would actually kill off that runner, and it would stop all of the active growth that is currently going on. And obviously, as people that grow plants, we don't want that to happen. So that's kind of what you're just supposed to do. The other thing is you always want the runner to be facing up. If you are trellising the plant and you are securing it and the runner is facing down, it's not gonna grow anymore. It's not gonna grow any new leaves. So those are just some tricks that I learned recently that I wanted to share, and I am applying them for the first time with this Hoya, because there have been several occasions where when I didn't know, I secured this too close to where the new growth point was on the runner, and I ended up just losing the whole runner anyway. And I think it's working out so far because of the fact that I do have leaves growing on here. It's feeling secure on this pole. It has something to climb onto, but it's not feeling, I guess, suffocated or choked. So it's working out so far. But anyway, this is pretty cute Hoya, and that's why it's one of my favorites this month. The next plant is gonna be a pretty big one, and you'll see what I mean. This is a plant that you guys saw a few months ago. I bought it at the plant collectors market at Wild Roots, which was super fun, by the way. I really hope they do that again soon. But this plant is just going crazy. Sorry the pole's crooked. It really bothers me when they're not like perfectly upright. There we go. But anyway, this is a Philodendron bipenniform Splash Gordon, and it has grown 2.5 or 3 leaves since I got it. This is what kind of the leaves look like. I love that this plant is mature. I love the weird variegation on this plant, and I just love how easygoing it is. I really have not done much with it, and it's just been happy as can be, growing a new leaf every so often, just looking like a cool plant. I will say these moss poles have changed the game for me, because I don't know if you can tell because the root is like the same color as the moss, but it has even grown there's one right there. It has grown roots into the pole, which will really help it keep the stable, mature leaves. It also, I did put it in here. This is like my normal mossy mix. I just added a lot more perlite and orchid bark to it. Here we go. It has grown roots all the way down to the bottom here. Nutmeg. So roots on the bottom, really nice foliage. The only thing I will say is that the new leaves that it has put out recently are not the most highly variegated, which I'm not thrilled about. So this was the leaf before that one. Not a ton of variegation. So I don't know what I have to do to bring that back. Maybe put it in a brighter spot. But other than that, it has been such a nice plant, and I really love big plants this year, and I really love seeing mature plants, and this plant has just done it for me. So that is my philodendron bipennifolium. The last plant for my 5 favorite plants for the month of August is one that I almost did not put on here, but I put out a new leaf, and as soon as I show it to you, you will understand why this plant is making me so happy right now. So this is my anthurium from Ecuagenera. This is a Bessier Affinity crossed with Magnificum hybrid, and it is hardening off now, so it's not looking quite as pink, except for the back. The back stays pink for a really long time, so I'm gonna show you all that. But this, if Barbie was a plant, it would be this plant. This is like bubblegum pink. It is so cute. The leaf just looks so soft, I wanna touch it. It's like a pillow, and this is what I love about anthuriums. You can get so many cool hybrids out there. You can, whatever you're looking for in an anthurium, you can find it. And it's really handling the lower humidity quite well. Oh, that could be a thumbnail right there. That is gorgeous. But it just does so well. I mean, it didn't grow a new leaf for a long time. I bought this in May, the end of May, and this was a new leaf at the time, and it hadn't quite hardened off. This part didn't harden off to green because it was actually blocked by another anthurium leaf, which is fine. I still think it's really cute, really pretty. But this new leaf is just something else. It is out of this world. And the stems too, they stay pink, which is really interesting to me because I don't think either of the parent plants are pink, especially in the new leaves. I have a Bessier, and the new leaves aren't pink. It's more like a maroon for the stems, but the leaves come out as a dark green. And the Magnificum I don't have, but I do have another Magnificum hybrid, which is pure green. So I don't know what genetics made this plant pink, but I'm here for it. I'm loving it. The petioles are pink, these little sheaths are pink, and it's amazing. I love it so much. I have not repotted it yet because it doesn't seem to be root bound. I mean, there's a bunch of roots toward the bottom, but it doesn't really seem to be overwhelmed. And I really like to give plants the chance to acclimate, to get comfortable in their environment before I would ever think of repotting them, unless they come to me as a rehab or having some issue right out of the gate. So I've just been leaving it alone, even though it is in soil, which I don't love for houseplants. I don't really grow any houseplants in soil except for maybe like 2. Even my giant monstera is in like a big chunky mix, and that's in like a 3-gallon pot. So it's fine, like it's in soil, it's whatever, but it's been so easygoing. I just water it every so often when I water the other anthuriums, and it doesn't seem to really wilt or get droopy like the others do. I mean, I'm sure if I neglected it long enough it would, but I don't ever want to neglect this plant because I love it so much. It's so unique, it's so pretty, and like I said, I just can't get over the pink. It does start to harden off really quickly, so the pink doesn't last very long, I've noticed, but I do appreciate it while it's here. And even when the leaf is like really small, it's like a really bright pink. Next time I'll have to take a picture or video of like kind of a time lapse or something of the leaf maturing. But I just think it's super cool, and that's why I had to include it this month. So I really hope you agree and think that this is just as cool as I do. So that is it for our 5 favorite plants for the month of August. What did you think about my picks? Do you think that they're pretty cool? I'm thinking all of these new anthurium leaves are just making me fall even more in love with anthuriums, and I just want to buy more. But we gotta make room for them first. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give us a thumbs up down below and subscribe so you don't miss anything else from me and the kitties. Thanks again, and we will catch you in the next one.